Okay, we're going to do another quilting video of Naida's quilts. And the big news is, because apparently people love quilts more than golfing videos and vacation videos, we've created a new YouTube channel for Naida. It's called Naida's Quilting, and I'll put a link down below so you can switch over that, and all the subscribers can leave my channel and go over to hers.
John, that's terrible. Maybe they like yours.
Or you can stay on mine, I don't care. So here's her first quilt, and I'll let her take over.
Hi, it's 53 degrees here in Pleasant Valley. It's gorgeous and sunny. I made this quilt in 2000, and it's just scraps of jeans. And then I put the embroidery on it. I'm not very good at embroidery, but I put like the 60s, 70s flower power, because I figured that was probably the last time I was able to wear these jeans. I thought it turned out really cute. And I put the waistband at the top as one of the bindings. And I put the button on one side and the buttonhole on the other. I figured you could wear it as a coat. Just silly. Let's move on to the next one. This is an adopted block and scrap blocks. My friend Julie did all these wonderful things I put on the border, and she didn't want them anymore, so I said, okay, I'll take them. And I loved how I did the corners. And I'm sorry, but the hearts and the flowers that are appliqued, I don't remember who gave those to me. But the 9 patches were just scrap blocks I made. And I do love how I did the corners on this. I mitered the corners. Just turned out really cute. Most of these quilts, for some reason, don't have anything fancy on the back. I did put this on the back. I usually will put a large block in the center and then border it so it doesn't interfere with my quilting when I trim it. Okay, this is, I don't remember where some of these blocks came from. I don't even remember if this was actually an exchange block quilt, but it's a pretty scrappy quilt. And what I do when I get blocks that are from different people, I usually put a border around some of them, sometimes all of them, just depends, so that I can trim them so that everything is the same size. And then I just put the little flying geese, or whatever you call it, border there. And this one has just a little bit on the back, just a big giant 9 patch on point.
Okay.
This I got years ago. I call it, well, you can call it my garage sale quilt if you like. I got a friend had a garage sale, and she had a bag full of, like, I don't know, 20 blocks or something, and I bought them. And I love putting adopted and orphan blocks together to make them look cohesive. Anyway, I just kind of put everything together, had to border some things, and you could call it my barnyard quilt if you like, because I did put some of the other pieces that I had in my scrap bag, and then a couple of the blocks that she had, the barn and the cow, and a couple of the other ones. But I did this, I bet, I don't know, 25 years ago, kind of when I first started quilting. When I have scrap blocks, adopted blocks, orphan blocks, you know, when I had the knee replacements, I made 1,500 blocks from scraps in 2009 because I couldn't stand up and quilt because of my plantar fasciitis. So I kind of saved them, and I'd put a few together, but I kind of like to, I sort them probably hundreds of times until I get a mixture that are kind of the same color range, and then I like to put them together. And this was created by a lot of adopted blocks that people gave me. This is another adopted block quilt that I put together, and pretty much there's only like 1, 2, maybe 4 on the front that were from my stash, maybe 5. And I'll have some that are people give me and they're just kind of small pieces. Like there was this little star here, and I put a binding on it, and then I applicate it down to this larger block so it kind of would fit in with the rest of the stuff. So I just love scrap quilts, and I even put a scrappy binding on this one. More adopted blocks. Can you imagine that? They all, I had to put a border on all of them. Or, no, yeah, a border on all of them so that I could make them all the same size. Thought it turned out pretty good. I like to pull from my stash to make the stashings and the borders. This one is just plain. After I laid this quilt out in the grass, I think this was actually a block of the month, but man, you could use your scraps up for this too, because it's just very, very scrappy. And so that was at a quilt shop that is now closed here in Liberty, Missouri. And this is what I used to do on all the back of the quilts. I would just put a giant friendship star on them and then border it so it just doesn't affect, I don't have to worry about where I cut and trim my quilt. Hello.
Here's our catio right now. Shadow. It's the only cat in the catio. They can come in from inside to outside with the cat door we have on the window here. And that allows them to play outside. Now Gabbert's decided to come out and play with Shadow. These two cats actually hate each other, so we'll see what happens. Do that.